Hey everybody, it's Casey and I'm really excited to be here on a Wednesday. We're going with trade number 7. Trade number 7 on the 20 trade challenge. So far, I've been getting a lot of good feedback. So if you have enjoyed this challenge at all, please hit that like button and share a comment, share it with your friends, and give me some feedback. Tell me what you need because again, we're here to provide some clarity in these crazy markets. You know, with all the craziness and the economy going on and the coronavirus and all the fear, it's been just wild in the markets lately. And that can be quite a challenge. And so one of the things that I want to help you guys with who are here watching and learning is how to have confidence and security and stability in a crazy market like what we have today, right? Because right now, the volatility, if you're not prepared for this, it's going to take you out. Just saying that, not to bring fear, because it's just, you need to be prepared for it. And what we're trying to do is to help you during these difficult times so that you can have that safety and security from the markets when the markets are anything but safe and secure right now due to the widespread fear that's spreading. Okay, so thanks again for everyone that's on board. Hey, Emil, I will be here to answer a few questions. I'm not going to be on too long, but I am going to set up my next trade, and I am also going to go over our past trades. So what I wanted to talk about was the last trade that I made, plus I added a spreadsheet, and I wanted to talk about the new trade. So 3 things. I got a spreadsheet that's going to be in the link below. Don't look at it yet. I'm going to go over it with you. So it's something that you guys really should do. I think every trader should really track and analyze their stats. Okay, so first thing is, hey, Cross Imagination. Well, I can tell you about how I'm going to do my target today, so pay attention to that. Hey, Andreas, Paulo, thank you guys so much. And remember, if you're on here and you're enjoying this content, please hit that like button. Really helps me out and helps other traders out because they get notified to this as well. Okay, thank you all. All right, so first of all, I'm looking at this New Zealand dollar. Now, let's take a look at this. We're currently above this range, okay? And so this could be a serious resistance point, okay? And so with that being said, want to be very aware of that. I always look at the obstacles and the opportunities. I don't just look at opportunities, because if you're only looking at the good, then you're going to be blindsided when the obstacles come your way. In life, as in trading, there will always be obstacles. Nothing ever is easy. If it was, everyone would do it. So when I'm planning something, I'm a planner in life. I plan my family. I plan my business. I plan my trades. Everything I do, I plan. And everything I do that I try to accomplish something, there's always obstacles. Nothing is easy. And so when you just come to accept that and to realize that's part of life, and embrace it and enjoy it, it's okay, because I like obstacles. It's fun. You know, going through an obstacle course is fun. Challenges can be fun. And sometimes they're painful, sometimes they are terrible, but again, I look at it as, okay, now I'm growing as a person, and ultimately that's what I want to do. When I'm trading, I want to grow as a person. Whatever I'm doing, I want to grow as a person. So obstacles. This is an obstacle, this key support level. So let's zoom out a little bit more long term. We did, however, hit another top up here, close to it. So we could just be in a very big range. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be taking this as, even though it is going to be an obstacle, could slow me up, could stop me out of a trade, because I'm always looking for things that can stop me out. And so yes, that could definitely happen. This is the Euro New Zealand, by the way, if you did not hear my initials. So Euro New Zealand. So daily. However, what that means is if we're on a daily here, we could have a nice range, a very nice range. For example, this particular range right now is about 1,100 pips. So 1,100 points is a possibility here. The other thing to look at is just try to play both points of view and see what you're going to come up with. This is an uptrend. Believe it or not, this is kind of a long-term uptrend. If we take a look here, scroll it down just a little bit more, you can see that we are trending up. We have a big range here, but the current market momentum is up, and we currently do have a very big triangle. You see this massive triangle, and for anyone who watches Tim Black, my amazing, wonderful host of my YouTube videos, he loves triangles, and so this would be a great setup for a breakout to the upside on a longer term time frame because of this awesome triangle that we see here. So it's definitely getting narrow. So we could get a break down to the downside and break down. We could get a break to the upside and break up. So those are just some things that we see. Hey, ready, and a little bit early today, trying to get a jump on the day. Plus, I saw a setup. I don't actually have a specific time. I try to be in the same time because of you guys, but at the same time, the market waits for no man. Haha. Anyhow, we see this triangle here. Okay, but with that being said, what's currently happening? What's currently happening is we've got an extreme move to the upside, very overextended, and I'm looking for a pullback. I don't think it could pull back here and then break up. It could pull back here and break up, could pull back to the 38.2 breakup, could go back down here and break up. Usually you're going to see some kind of pullback, and it's trying to do that right now. And so as you know, in the markets, it zigs and zags, and it's always designed to try to whip people out of their winning trades. That's exactly what the markets are trying to do. So keep that in mind. When you're taking your trade, think of all the different scenarios. So one of the things I think could happen is we get a slight pullback, and I'm just drawing these blue lines that you're going to see are potential market movements. And we could pop down into here. Like this. Okay, so this is a potential market movement. A boom, 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 right? That's what could happen, right? And then if I pull it back even more, if I can figure out how to do that, anyhow, if it bounces off this blue line, it could then shoot again straight up as well. Okay, so that's one scenario that could happen, and there's literally unlimited amounts of scenarios that we can come up with, but I just try to get a couple just to see generally how the market moves and try to figure out price action. And I mentioned in the last video that I actually got this trade here, and before I started this series, and I only took it to 250. I actually was able to nail that, which was pretty awesome. And it went way beyond what I expected. And that will happen sometimes. And sometimes if it goes beyond what you're expecting, you can make extra money, which I did if you guys look at my first trade on the euro dollar. Okay, so trying not to blab, and some of you are like, get on with it. Just tell the dang trade already. Stop loss, take profit. I know people are thinking that, right? Anyways, if you're thinking it, go ahead and just be honest. Tell me in the comments. I'm just trying to think out loud, really, is what I'm trying to do as I'm setting up. And this helps me also to prepare. And if you guys think out loud a little bit, I think it'll help you. So another potential scenario is we could pop right down here, and instead of getting the big reversal that I was hoping for, we could go right here and just go straight through. Right? The market got the momentum. There's going to be a lot of sellers in here, and the buyers are going to be like, okay, not today, guys. We're going to take you out. Right? So there's some potential scenarios. So with that being said, let's go ahead. We know it can go up, it can go down. There's never a prediction. We never know what's going to happen. But we just play the scenarios and try to let the market lead us. So with that being said, let's take a look at what we're seeing on a 4-hour time frame on the Euro New Zealand. So what we're seeing on the 4-hour time frame is it's starting to settle here. We've got this current level of support, and it's been testing this level. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 tests. Okay, we're overextended on the MACD. It's starting to turn down. The MACD starting to turn down. Okay, so again, we don't know what's going to happen. You can see the momentum is getting definitely higher on the bullish side, but we can try to just see what's going to happen here. This is definitely a counter momentum, counter bullishness, because the market has been definitely been moving up. So there's a couple ways I can look at this. I'm trying to take a trade live, so I want to go short here. So I could either wait for it to bounce off support and to take back up, or I could wait for it to come back down here into this channel and then look to go long, or I could try to catch a move of 250 pips until it gets there, right? So a lot of different things I can do. I'm trying to take a trade. I could wait again here and put a little triangle on the 4-hour and pop up. So when you're taking trades, like go long here, or when it breaks out, go short. When you're taking trades, there's a lot of things you can do. But let's keep analyzing. I like to look at different time frames. 1 hour. 1 hour is just turning below. Okay, so we got one drop below here, and then you see the weakening. You see how the mountains are getting smaller, 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 smaller. The red mountains are getting bigger, bigger, bigger. Oh, and by the way, this MACD is a free tool that we created for traders. You can get access to it for free by clicking in the link in the description. Just so you know, it's a really cool tool. I love this MACD. Okay, so the reds are getting a little bit bigger. The greens are getting smaller. We're starting to cross over, and we're actually at support. And my moving average that I love is not on this chart right now. Let's get that moving average on here. I have to have that. I have to have that 50 period MA. Let's make it green because I like it green. Okay, so there we go. We got the 50 period. It just broke below, and this broke below. So we do have this. Okay, but if let's just say I was going to expect a breakout here, my take profit would be, my stop loss would be 124, and let's go back to a daily, okay, daily, and what would be I'm going to draw a fib to get the targets. They were talking about targets. How am I going to get them? Well, I draw a fib. That's a great way. And there's 2 support levels, 23.6 and 38.2. So to me, a 28.6 or 23.6 wouldn't be enough. 80, nope. But could I get down to 38.2? That would be 220. Would I be willing to go in for 220? Possibly. Let's keep looking at lower time frame and see what we can come up with. So we got a 15-minute now. In the triangle on the 15-minute, it's very overextended here on the 15-minute. So what would be nice to see would be the price to come up here and then bounce off, come back up, and then take another move to the downside. That would be pretty cool. Because then what I would probably do is wait until the moving average is touched up here, and then would take a short, and I'd put a little bit tighter of a stop loss trying to get a nice win. I'd like to ultimately try to get a 200 pip target with a 50 or 25 pip stop loss. If you can do that, then your risk to reward ratio is much, much better. Okay, so right now, the Euro New Zealand is not really looking like the setup I want. If it just takes down, if I entered right now, this might be a decent setup, 210 and 100 pip stop loss. That's okay. That's a 2-to-1. I'll take it. if I have to, but I want to get a higher risk to reward. I want to get a 3 to 1, 5 to 1, and 10 to 1 risk to reward, or 20 to 1. The more you can ride a tight stop to a big move, the better your trading account's going to be long term. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at my spreadsheet. Okay, and where is it? Here it is. Wait. Here's my spreadsheet. Okay, so let me pull this out for a minute. So this is, the link to this is below, but this is what I set up for the challenge here. And the cool thing about this is that it is going to tell me some really important information about my trades. And I think that it's very important that we are tracking our trades well, that we're keeping a good eye on what's happening, and we're monitoring the entire situation. So let's go ahead and take a look. So we remember the first trade. Now this particular trade, and I should put the date on here, I'll add that. But this particular trade was the euro dollar. This was trade number 1. And remember, I held this for a long time. I had actually lost trade 2, 3, and 4 before I actually closed this one. And then I closed this one, and then I closed this second euro dollar. So if we look at it, the first trade, my target was originally 37.42. If you guys go back to the video, you'll see that. But what actually happened was I got 6,200. So this was a $1,000 risk with a $6,000 200 take profit. That's 6 to 1. So that is the kind of trade that I'm looking to find. Okay, and again, this one was another one I added to this trade in video number 5, and my target was 41. I didn't quite get my target, but it's still 3,800. So this was a 3.8 to 1. Okay, now this, I didn't hit any of my big targets on these 3 losers, but you can see my losers: 984, 752, 975, and then my winners. Right? So when you calculate it, my total profit on all of my trades is $7,327. My average win is $5,020. My ROI is 47%. And what that means, I'm not basing my ROI by my trading account. What I'm basing it off of is the amount that I invested versus the amount that I earned. So how much did I invest? And this calculations is only done up to trade number 5, because trade 6 I haven't calculated yet. I'm going to talk about trade 6 in a minute here. But anyways, my average win is 5,000, average loss 904. So this risk to reward ratio is actually 5.55, right? And then my win rate is 40%. Because I've won 2 and lost 3. Now this is actually better than what I'm actually expecting, because with a 5 to 1, I only need to win a low percentage and make money, right? And so that's really good, that I can lose 25% and still, or lose 75% and still make a lot of money. People don't really understand this too much. And so I think that this is really important to get a handle on. I know looking at spreadsheets is boring. You guys want trades. You want trades. You want trades. But listen, if you don't do this stuff, you're not going to be successful. You can look at trades all day long, but you got to calculate your numbers. You got to make your trade plan. You got to understand how this stuff works, or you're not going to be successful. So I put this spreadsheet out there for you guys, and I'm going to probably be updating it. I might add account balance and other things here, but it's a progress. Everything in life is a process, and we try to get better and better. Okay, so just some notes. I've done 15 trades, or 5. 6 I'm going to calculate in a minute. I can lose 7 trades in a row and still break even. So that's pretty cool. So half of the trades in the challenge, and I can still lose 7 in a row, which is nice. And can I lose 7 in a row? Well, with these crazy markets, yes, I can. It's totally possible. We may see it happen. Very, very possible. All right. Now, another stat is I only need 2 more winners to guarantee profitability. So out of a 20 trade challenge, if I can get, and this is if I get a good risk to reward. If I win $100, that's not going to count. But I need to at least get my 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1 risk to reward in order to do this. But 2 more winners to guarantee profitability. So I only need to win 2 out of 15. Just asking you guys a question to answer. Don't you like being in a position where you only have to win 2 trades? Like, doesn't that actually make you feel kind of good? Like, okay, I can do this. Rather than like, oh crap, I'm down huge. How do I dig myself out of this hole? But now I'm like, okay, I have to win 2 out of 15 to guarantee profitability. And so since I'm in this position, that means I want to be very, very careful about where I'm at. Like, I want to take good trades. Like, get what I'm saying? I only need to win 2, but why take the chances and lose 7 in a row? I want to be really particular and try to win my trades here and to take my time on my analysis. I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing this live challenge for you so you guys can see my process and how it works, but I want to really do a good job here for me and for you, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so again, on this spreadsheet, I had put all the images down. I just copied them so you can actually see that what I say is being accurate. I want to make sure that I'm being transparent here. And I did want to talk now about, let me jump over to the New Zealand, make sure, yeah, we're still good. I want to jump to the chart again. Okay, so I want to take a look at this pound Australian. Okay, so if you remember from trade number 6, I took a short on the pound Australian. Well, this current trade was actually a loser. Okay, so let me show you that. And I'm going to calculate that. I did a $1,200 risk, but it ended up being 13, and it was a real shame because it dropped out 78 pips. Look at what it did. It was a nice entry, popped right up. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more on it for you guys. Oh, maybe if I do a 15-minute. But you see here, it popped up, got me out. So again, I tell everybody this is for educational purposes only. So I don't expect anyone to follow me along. I'm just teaching here. This is not trade signals. Okay, I don't want you to think I'm going to follow KC and I'm going to make money. It's just not going to happen. You have to learn this stuff. It's really true. You have to learn. So look at what actually happened. So I ended up entering this trade right here. Okay, I was up 51 pips, and at the 2.5, that was like I was up about $1,000, and then it reversed. I ended up losing 1,300. So that is kind of a bummer when that happens, right? But my timing was probably off a little bit. You see, we had this big drop. I got in here. The momentum needed to turn a little bit, needed to wait a little bit more, but I was trying to do the live. I'm not making excuses here, but trying to do the live trade, trying to find an entry. Could have timed it a little better, okay? So that's that trade. So let's go ahead and, well, let me just tell you where I'm at right now. I went ahead, and even though I lost this trade, I went ahead and I re-entered it as soon as I got out. I waited for another momentum because I just really wanted to see what happened. I waited for another pop. So I got out here. It went down on me and it popped back up. Or no, I think I got in at this candle. It popped into this moving average and then I got back in, right? And you can see that the result is pretty nice right now because why? Because I have a 250 pip trade on. All right, I'm up a nice amount. I'm up about $4,000 on this trade right now, and I only need to go 89 pips to my target. I'm up 240. I need to go 89 more, and this will be a $6,000 winner. All right. However, guess what? I'm not going to count this for the spreadsheet unless you guys think I should, but I was wanting to do live trades. So on the spreadsheet, I'm not going to put this in because you guys weren't here to watch this as part of the 20 trades. It doesn't really matter. The 20 trades will be 20 trades that I took live. Okay. I'm just showing you that I got back in and now it's working pretty good. Okay. So I got back in, blah, blah, blah. Now, sorry for the blah, blah, blah. Now I need to add this into the spreadsheet. So let's look at the images. And the loss was 1308.93. Let me add it. 1308.93. And I have to color it red to make sure people know it was a loser. And honestly, I'm not a spreadsheet expert, so the way that I'm doing this, you could probably do it a lot better than me. That's just what I'm doing. So I need to figure out some of these. So E4, comma, E8, average, that's to get the average. Let's come up with the total profit here. G4 minus G5. Oh, that's because I put my winners. Okay. So again, there's probably a better way to do this, but my losers, I'm going to just put colon E, wait. E9. No, that's not right. Let's see. Sum. Boom. Sum. Forgive me for my horrible spreadsheet skills. I should do this offline. But so there's my losers right now, 4,000, and there's my winners. Okay, so there my total profit is 6,018. I'm going to calculate the average win. The average win won't change, but the average loss will bump a little bit. Let's see, E7 divided by 3. Actually, we just divide that by 4. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this. Sum. And this is probably, so let me just do this. Sum 4,000 divided by 4. Okay, there we go. Okay, so my average loss is right at 1,000, which is where I wanted it to be. My risk to reward is 4.99. My winning percentage has dropped. I'll have to calculate that. I'll do that later. Trades to go in the challenge, we got 14. Okay, so I can now only lose 6 in a row and still break in. I still need to win 2 and 2. Okay, so these are my stats. They're a little bit updated. I'm going to change my ROI and my win percentage later, but this is to get you a general idea. And I got all the images in here. And the pound trade that I'm currently in, I'm not going to keep track of. Okay, so pound Australian. Hopefully it keeps on going, looking pretty good. We're at this channel. This is going to slow it down. I'd like to see it pop down. Should be able to get there. When it gets close, I'm going to think about whether I want to try to get more or take it off the table. So right now I'm at 4,000 roughly, and I don't want to lose that. Okay, so let's go back to the Euro New Zealand. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame, and it's popping up a little bit. We're starting to lose some of this momentum. I'm still going to wait here. I'm going to wait a little bit more and see if we can get a very good opportunity to enter. And I should have probably had a better, this is why doing these live trades is so difficult, is just because I don't want to be online all day. Sorry. And I want to just jump in and jump out. I want to give you guys some good education, but at the same time, you guys don't want to be bored either. So what I'm probably going to do is stick around here for a few more minutes. If it doesn't trigger, I'm just going to go and then tell you guys what my trade plan is for this trade. But right now, what I'm waiting for is I want to see this thing pull back a little bit. and then a nice spike for downward momentum, and then get back in. So the timing is always a really important, you know, if I'm expecting a short, I want to wait for it to set up, wait for the price action to break to the downside so I can time it just right, which is going to help me get my risk to reward ratio that I'm looking for. So while I'm doing that, again, please leave some comments, feedback. Let me know if any of this is helpful. If this is helpful to you, just so I know what's going on, please hit that like button so I know that to continue this type of material. I don't want to do something that is not useful, so please let me know. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do now is calculate a scenario and give you guys some ideas of what. I've got 2 more calculations. I know the calculations are boring, but I'm doing it to help you guys out. So I want to try to get a nice big winner here. So let's assume that I'm able to hold off till price gets here. And that's another, and I might even take an entry order here just to time this, 32 pips away. If we can get a nice pullback, and then, you know, slowly grinding up and then looking for downside. Well, then what does that give me? It gives me a better entry. And so my stop loss, I could put my stop loss above this level and I could get a 48 pip stop loss. All right. So now if I can be patient and let that happen, then that would give me an entry at 278 pips with a 50 pip, about a 50 pip stop. With that being said, that is a pretty good risk to reward ratio, right? So we got 50, and then we times that times 4. 50 times 4 is 200, right? So 50 times 5 is 250. So it's right at a 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. 50 risk, $250 pip target, which is really what I'm looking for, minimum. I would love to be able to cut this down. If I could go to the target the same and look at a place where I could cut my down to 25, look at the difference in this. If I could risk 25 or 15, if I could time it on a lower time frame and knock it out and get a 10-to-1 or 15-to-1, then boom, I'm making a lot more money. And so as I'm watching this, we can actually even drop down to a lower time frame and see what happens. So we're getting to turn down earlier on this 5-minute, and then on the 1-minute, it's actually already popped to the upside, and it could be looking to break down. So if we can get a nice strong break, maybe I'll go in on a 1-minute with a tighter stop, and then I'll try to hit a 200 pip target with a 15 pip stop, and that would be really good. So what I like to do is I just get my calculator up, just because I'm not real good at math, guys. I'm really bad at it. But I'll just let's say I have a 15 pip stop and times that by 5. Boom, 75. If I have a 15 pip stop, times it by 12, 180. So if I can get a 15 pip stop and 180 take profit, that is a 12-to-1 risk to reward ratio. If I get a 12-to-1, if I can, do you guys believe, if you believe that I can get a 15 pip stop and a 180 target, do you believe that it's possible? If you believe it, hit that like button. Come on. But is it possible? And what would that do to my spreadsheet? What would that do? Right? Trade number 7, risk 1,000, Euro, New Zealand. Like, what would that do? So let's see. We'll do it. We'll run the math in. So we're going to go over here, and we'll just say pip cost for EurNZD. Okay? So it's 6.2 per lot. Well, if I'm risking, let's get this calculator up here. If I'm risking $1,000 and my stop loss is only 15 pips, how many lots am I going to do, guys? How many lots would that be? So how does that work? So one lot is 6.29. So we'll just put that in there per pip. So times 15 is $94. Okay, so that means that I would increase this a lot. Okay, so let's just say instead of doing $6, I would do 60, right? Let's just try this. 60.29 times 15. Okay, so that's more of what I'm looking for. So $60 a pip, right? Now, how many lots would it take? So if it's $6.29 a lot, how many lots would it take to be 60? Would that be 10? 10 times 6.29. Just under 10 lots. So we'd be at 9 lots. So then let's just do 9 times, and I hope you guys this is making sense. If not, maybe I'll slow down and you can watch it again. But 9 times 6.29. Okay, so we're looking at $83 a pip. My stop loss is 15 pips times 83. Oh, no. I messed up somewhere. Where did I mess up? See, this is, so there are calculators that do all this, and I recommend that. All right. But it's good to know how to do this. You need to know the foundations of this stuff. 6 times 2 times 8 is 50. Okay, there we go. So let's do this again. 6.29 times 5, or no, times 9 is $56 per point, per pip. Times that by 15 is $849 risk. So we're going to go with a 9 pip stop loss, a 9 lot trade. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, if I can hit my target at 180, we're going to say again, we're going to say it was $56 a pip times 180. So now let's go back to the stop loss. Okay, so the target now would be $10,000.80. And you guys remember I had if you saw my thumbnail in this video, I said $10,000 trade. $10,080 by risking it's a 10 to 1 just by tightening up your stop. Okay, and I'm not going to actually type this in yet because I'm not going to be sure about what I'm going to do until the trade actually takes place. All right, but right now, let's look at a 1 minute time frame. Let's look at 15-minute. It's really starting to get the momentum to the downside. The hourly still turning down. It looks like it's not going to want to do what I originally was thinking. It just broke a new low here. So, how do you make a trade with a 15 pip stop and a 180 pip target? How do you do that? Because ultimately, I'd have to just put it right up here. Right? I'd have to put it up above this range and really hope for a momentum breakout. So one of the things you got to realize, guys, is that in order to do this, you're going to lose trades. The market whips you out. Let's look back at this pound Australian I just did. Okay, and this was not quite as tight because pound Australian can move a lot. So can the Euro New Zealand. But look, I got whipped out. The entry wasn't bad. It was right here on this breakout candle. I ended up getting some decent pips on it, but it ended up taking me out. So you have to time it just right in order for this to work. And you're going to fail a lot. But you have to look at your spreadsheet and say, okay, overall, the math is going to work out for me. And then you start to begin to get some momentum. If you could win 2 trades in a row, what could that do for your account? But it's all got to be, I know it's got to be in your mind. You've got to be able to do this, to follow the trend, to follow your strategy, to be consistent on your timing. But it can be done. Okay, so let's go ahead. So I'm just kind of, teaching and training while we're going. I could, what else can I talk about while I'm waiting for this? It's starting to pop up a little bit, so I'm going to just keep watching this. It's really in a tight consolidation for the last hour or so. But let's go ahead and there's one other thing I wanted to talk about. If it doesn't happen by then, I'm just going to have to force something, which ultimately we don't usually want to do. But since since we're doing a live trading challenge, things are a little different than normal. Okay, so I'm going to open up another sheet here and just do some mathematics for you guys. Let's change this. Okay, so we're going to do 20 trades. This is just to give you an idea of what kind of result you need to go. So if I can get 5 to 1, so that means $5,000 on each winner. And I'm going to do 1,000 for losers. What I want to know is the very minimum that I have to achieve on a win rate to actually be profitable. I think everyone needs to know this. Like I ask traders all the time, do you know how many trades you need to win to make money? No. You need to know this before you start. And then after you're done, you need to review your results. Okay, so let's find out what it is here. So let's just start really low. We're going to do 4, let me do the percentages here. 20 times 0.2 is 4. So we're going to go with 20%. So we're going to say 4 winners times 5,000 equals, what does that equal? It's $20,000. I didn't even need a calculator. See how smart I am? Okay, now that means we're going to lose 16 trades. 16 losers at 1,000 each times 1,000 equals 16,000. All right, so what is my profit? Profit equals $4,000. Okay, and I would imagine if you're taking 1 trade a day, to me that's plenty. But $4,000 a month is good. It's good, That's because that'll grow your account over time, and that's ultimately what you want to do. All right. Now let's just adjust this and see if we can win 3 trades. 3 winners, 17 losers. So 3 times 5,000 is 15,000. And the losers would be 17,000. And the profit would be negative 2,000. Okay, so what that means is that's where the losing edge is. So 3. So you have to win a minimum of 4 trades to make money. So the question is, with this strategy you're using, can you win 4 out of 20? Can it be done? Yes or no? All right. Yes or no. Can it be done? Now, what's that? So we go 20 times 0.15 is 15%. So we're talking a 15% winning rate is a loser. A 20% win rate is a winner. So I think winning 20% of your trades and still making money is a good thing. And what are you going to do long term? Well, that's when you start tracking your strategy. Right? People start looking for trade ideas before they know any of this, but they've got it totally backwards. You've got to do this stuff first before you look at your strategy. Now that I have this in play, now I'll look at my strategy and say, did I win my 4 trades? And after I'm done with this, we're going to look at this after it's done. After the whole 20 trades are over, we're going to say, did I win 4? And we're going to look and say, what can I do better? I'm going to actually do a review session at the end of this series and determine what we did better. Okay, so anyhow, I'm in long today. I'm at 45 minutes, and I got to just come up with something. So we're breaking down here. Let's see what we're looking at on the hourly. I'm going to go ahead and make a move, and we're going to see what happens. So let's look at this on a 15-minute. It's if I could get in right here. Right now, this is about a 17, 19, 18 pip trade. So at the 9 lots, we'd be looking at about a $800 risk. And is it possible for me to get whipped out on that? Absolutely. Absolutely. But is it also possible that we get a break and it just, a burst of power comes down and I go a couple hundred pips? Is that possible? Yeah. Yeah, so it's possible. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm on. This is probably not the ideal setup that I would normally go for, but I'm just going to do it. And just to let you guys know, also, if I do get a burst, since it's so tight, I'm going to be moving my stop pretty early. Okay, but I'm going to give this a shot right now. We're going to go with the 9 lots. I'm going to sell it. Okay. And I'm going to put my stop loss in here first. Right at about 17 pips. And hopefully we get that burst. If not, it's just another loser in the many losers that I've already had. And remember, I do have that pound odd that's up $4,000, which kind of helps things, but I'm not counting that. So in my mind, I'm okay, but for the challenge, it doesn't count. So, all right, so now let's go to an hourly time frame. Let's see what we got. Okay, so I'm looking at targeting this 38.2. It's actually, so my actual, so let's go ahead and update my spreadsheet, guys. Let's update my spreadsheet. So my actual risk was, we'll keep it at 1,000. It was really close adding commission. I'll have to add the commission in there. But 11,587. $11,587. Okay, and if I hit this, even if I get half of it, it'll be good, but not 115. Need to get that 0 deleted. Okay, so there we have it. Guys, go ahead and take a look at this spreadsheet. The link is below. Thanks a lot. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you guys, your comments, your feedback, everything that you guys do. Been very helpful, useful. Thanks so much. And I'll be back with another trade very soon, probably tomorrow. And hopefully at that point, we'll see what happens with this trade. All right. Well, hopefully that was useful. If you guys liked it, please, again, hit that like button. We got 18 likes. I'd love to see 2 more before I leave. Let me see. So Cross Monation says a profit starts, but a trade in profit starts breaking down before the profit target. Should you not reassess and not wait until it comes back to the entry point or loss at a stop loss? Yeah, you definitely have to reassess a trade. That's definitely something that should be done. And especially once I get close to my profit, I don't like to lose it. So my goal is to get the 5,000 minimum, but if I can't, I'll just take whatever, because ultimately you'll have bigger winners and bigger losers, but it'll all average out in the end. And what you need to know, though, is this risk to reward ratio. The better I get this number, the happier I am. Okay, I love getting these up. So that means keeping my losses small, keeping my winners big. Okay, all right, we got our 20 likes, everybody. So thankful for that. Thankful for you guys. Remember, I'm here. Leave a comment. I'll be answering it. Also, if you have any questions, let me know. I can see there's a lot of people on the spreadsheet now, so that's really good. It's good to see. It's good to see people on the spreadsheet. So, also the MACD is free, and again, we're here to try to make sense of these crazy markets that we're in right now. All right, have a good day, everybody.